prevented the sequel movies, have you, Dad?
Yes, son. Yes, I did.
Master, what happened? I sensed a great disturbance in the Force, and suddenly, millions of voices cried out in relief.
Yes, you did, my young apprentice. Yes, you...
Alright, no doubt over the last few months you've heard about the rumors regarding the eternal strife inside of Lucasfilms. Specifically, that the sequel trilogy itself shall be written out of existence, all provided by our future ruler of Earth, Dictor Van Doomcock. This video is not going to ask if, will, when, or how this will be done, as that is quite simply impossible for a lowly YouTuber with no connections inside the company to answer. Instead, what I will be demonstrating here is why the sequel trilogy needs to be removed in order for the new expanded universe, namely The Mandalorian and the Rebel sequel, to grow. In my previous videos, I discussed snippets of this problem in the form of the movies literally stunting the growth of this expanded material, namely in the form of The Force Awakens killing off the Jedi and the New Republic, and establishing that nothing of importance happened in the 30 years gap between the movies. Unfortunately, this problem isn't just isolated to The Force Awakens. And no, I'm not talking about The Last Jedi. That's been ripped apart, sewn back together, and reviled like Frankenstein's monster itself. Instead, this specific problem was created by The Rise of Skywalker, namely when it decided to rip off Dark Empire and bring back Darth Syphilis with clones. In the material surrounding the movie, we learned that Mr. Saltine has been alive since he was thrown down a bottomless pit, and has been hanging out on life support on a scientifically impossible world of Hoth, Korriban, Ilum, Exegol. Now, how does this tie into The Mandalorian and the Rebel sequel? Because of this. Now, you can see where Exegol is over here, but what's important is this world, the world of Silo. Now, to those who don't know what this world is, it is the home of the Chiss Ascendancy and the birthplace of Grand Admiral Sunju Rommel Nilsen Thrawn. At the end of Rebels, Thrawn and Ezra Bridger were dragged out into the unknown regions, and 5 years later, Sabine and Ahsoka set out to find them. And with word that Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, and potentially Sabine and even Captain Rex will and may make an appearance in Lone Wolf and Cub in Space Season 2, Mandalorian Season 2, Mando, Baby Yoda, and the surviving cast may be pulled along for the ride. Because they will be searching out Thrawn and Ezra in the most dangerous parts of space, they will no doubt have to ask for help from the most powerful faction there, the Chiss Ascendancy. This is supported by Timothy Zahn's still ongoing Thrawn series that is re-establishing this culture in the canon universe, which means their involvement is practically inevitable. Which means a showdown with Palpatine on Exegol is likely inevitable, and because the undead monarch has literal plot armor due to him needing to live a few more decades, this confrontation will end one way.
You're all going to die down here.
This is likewise supported by none of these characters making any significant appearances in the period surrounding the sequel trilogy, during a time when Jedi, strategic geniuses, and warrior cultures were desperately needed. Even worse, Ahsoka's own voice was heard during Rey's Force Ghost Cheerleader Squad scene. And yes, I know about Filoni's post, but guess what? That doesn't matter considering these movies are unfortunately more canon than any of that expanded material, demonstrated by them ignoring and contradicting their own lore at any given opportunity. You know, the reason they got rid of the old EU to begin with?
Well, that was pointless.
So, unless the sequels are erased from existence or put into their own timeline or something, all these characters you spent precious time getting invested in, well, get ready to say goodbye to them, because a red wedding is coming for them. The franchise, it came alive and took Rex. Mando, you know something.
I'm scared, Ahsoka.
Carapace, you're afraid of no man.
There's something out there. And it ain't no man. We're all gonna die.